Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that you've had a good weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of you who are fathers. I have considered myself to be both mother and father. Sometimes it's an identity crisis of gender, but since my husband, father of my children, have passed away since 2010, I've kind of had to be both mom and dad, and I don't know if that makes me effective as either, but I've tried my best. And I had a lovely meal with my youngest son today. My oldest son forgot I'm dad also, and I haven't heard from him yet. I'm sure tomorrow or the next day he'll go, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Happy Father's Day." He, being a transgender man of all people, would remember. I'm sure he's busy. He's going to school. He's studying art, welding art, so pretty cool. Anyway, I had a really lovely meal with my youngest. We had Indian food. Love Indian food. I was so sad when they only had one order of gulab jamun. We had to share it, but it's just as well because I am so stuffed. My God, this butter chicken, oh, it was so good. Anyway, I wish I had extra. I would invite you all over for dinner. If you guys ever come to Cuenca, I'll take you to this exact restaurant. The son just came from India. Francis is his name, and so you guys know how I feel about that name. It's my middle name, so he is really good at making gulab jamun and also naan. So his specialties came with him, thank God. He's only 19, but he's already a pretty good chef. So anyway, today, well, in the next couple hours, we will be hitting the full moon. The full moon energy. The last 2 days, you guys know, if you've been listening every day, I've been feeling kind of down, feeling like attacked. A lot of that energy now has, thank God, has shifted. And I feel a lot better. I hope that if you guys were going through anything like that, that you also today feel a lot better. By tomorrow, we're going to feel a lot more better, but there's still the angsty energy, angry sort of type of energy that can only be, described with a sound. So if you kind of start to feel these types of energies around you, just take a deep breath, walk away. Remember what I said a couple nights ago, just, don't engage the bullies. Disengage yourself from them. Basically, this moon is going to be in Sagittarius. It's a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius, as a sign in general, it's a sign of freedom. People want to be freaking free, like under this energy. It's like if couples are always coupley and they're always holding hands and they're caring for each other, always having their arms around each other to make sure everything is safe with their sweetheart. This is probably the time when you're going to say, you know what, honey, why don't you go out with your friends tonight? I'll see you in a couple days. We'll come back together in 2 or 3 days, actually, and we'll catch up then. This is the time when people start to feel smothered. If their Sagittarius is under Sagittarius moon, forget about it. Just say you'll see them in a week, You also might feel like traveling, And if you don't have the ability to travel, a lot of angsty, angry energy again will come up because of that. It is a fire sign. Fire sign. So I just wanted to bring that up. It is a strawberry moon, though. How adorable. It is literally called a strawberry moon. And when it's on the horizon, it's lower on the horizon, and the way that the light is refracting and reflecting off the moon from the sun, it looks to us like it's a pale pink. So it's a little strawberry moon. It's so cute. Such a cute name, right? I don't know. I never heard any of these names, in my life. So, I mean, things like Native American names, like I was born under a bear moon. So obviously I know what that is, but it's weird. I've never heard of the strawberry moon. When I first read that today, I thought, ooh, strawberry season. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. And then I realized, wait a minute. Well, yeah, we might start to have strawberries in California, possibly now, but mostly in July and August. That's strawberry season. They kind of grow year round, but the better strawberries from Watsonville and Oxnard, California, providing the weather hasn't taken a bad turn, those are the best berries. I always loved a good Watsonville berry. But I live in South America, and thank you God, I get strawberries year round here. I get everything year round. Mangoes. There's like over 260 or 280 varieties of mangoes. And so we have different mangoes at different times of the year, but it's a year-round thing. And thank God, I love mangoes so much. You could get them at the open air market for like 25 cents each, I remember in shopping in the States, they're like $3, $4, $5 sometimes $5, $7, $8 for a pineapple sometimes. And here, 75 cents in the open air market for a pineapple, a really good one, freshly picked like that day. I don't know, you guys, I just love living down here. It's the fruit, the coffee and the roses and the chocolate. Okay, so just like yesterday, today was another big one. 99 on the Ascension Symptoms Scale. That means we are feeling a lot of symptoms of the Ascension. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but June is huge. June is the core energy. This is the center energy for the whole year, as far as you got to figure out where your jumping off point is to like this month, not this moment or today, but this month. Do you want to follow a lower level negative energy vibe? Do you want to go back to sleep and hop to another world and not wake up for another 260,000 years? I mean, I can't verify that's going to happen, but I have read it in books. There's a book by Swami Sri Yukteswar it was actually by Paramahansa Yogananda about his prophecies. And it was just released about 10 years ago, and I read it, and I was really shocked when I read that wow, the wheel is turning, and as that the cosmic wheel is turning, the people who are going to ascend are going to just rapidly go. The people who are going to stay asleep they're going to be moved to another world. It's over. This schematic is over. So the Ascension symptoms that we should be having now as the core energy, center of reality energy that you're going to be feeling, probably you're going to feel more that you're going into your cosmic body, your crystalline body, which is a higher octave. It's in a different dimension. You should be feeling the effects of that really soon. Your body should start to reverse age if you are over, say, the age of 35, or if you're around 40, you're going to start looking more like you're 30. Your gray and white hair will start to come in natural color, original, not natural gray, original color. I mean, if you're 20, you're not going to start looking older or anything. But if you're older than, say, 35 to 40, you're going to start looking younger if you accept it. If you want to wake up and ascend and just keep focusing on higher and higher and higher vibrations. Just, keep laughing, keep being happy, keep dancing. keep shaking that groove thing, baby. If you haven't danced in years, it's time to start. You know, if you haven't listened to really good music or sang, you know, blaring it out as loud as possible, maybe it's time to do that. Who cares? I'm not going to hear you. No one's going to hear you. And if they do, so what? You had the guts to do it and they didn't. Oh, well, you had the guts to sing out loud and not sound good. You probably do sound good. I know you sound better than me, but I don't care if I sound good or not. I just sing when I feel like singing. I mean, I make up rap songs. I do all kinds of stuff. I sing and sing and sing, and I dance and I dance and I dance. When I am in a positive mood, in a good mood, that's where I'm at. You know, in spite of all the crazy stuff that's happened to me, I am a warrior and I am a survivor of a lot of crap that happened. And, you know, stuff that happened directly to me, stuff that maybe I caused, some of the stuff I definitely caused. But not much, just stuff that was like kind of accidental, you know, like not being able to get a loan for my house because I needed to buy a car because my other car broke down and went to the wrong dealer, and, you know, bada boom, bada bing, an hour later, my credit was shot because he ran me through 20 credit card companies that all said no. And he didn't tell me he was going to do that. He said he'd find me financing. And he didn't. But he prevented me from buying a house that was one of the first to burn down in the Paradise Fire, which I've already talked about this, but I don't know. It's like, yeah, it was my fault, all that. And I kind of shot my credit to hell, and I can't rent an apartment in the United States to save my life anymore. You know, and I don't live there anymore. And, but you know what? It was just as well. I would have bought a house and I would have been dead already. So, I mean, you know, it's like, you never know what good or bad things you caused, things other people caused, things Mother Nature herself causes. You just never know, where you're going to end up. So just keep on keeping on, keep surviving, and, you know, focus on your inner warrior of light. But again, in the next day or two, don't take it personally when people say, I feel smothered, don't talk to me so much, don't contact me so much, or if they just shut off their phone entirely and they go on an e-diet, an electronic fast, and they turn off all their electronics and ignore you for a day or two. It's just the Sagittarius moon energy. It's just that strawberry moon that we've got going, and you know, in a couple hours, and it's going to be visible up until like Tuesday, but it's not technically going to be a full moon on Tuesday, just Monday all day long, the 17th all day long. So with the ascension symptoms, for me, sleeping. I slept 12 or 13 hours 3 nights in a row. Also, tinnitus is pretty bad. Although mentally I'm good. I'm sharp today, like really sharp. Had a hard time with my eyesight in the morning for about 2 or 3 hours. Could not even see my phone. Still with the eyesight thing. And then after a couple hours, everything was cool. I could see again, everything was fine. It's really crazy when this happens. It's a little freaky when you can't hear, you can't see. You're like, what the hell? What just happened to me, man? Anyway, I wanted to read you guys, before I forget, the Schumann resonance today. They only wrote in the evening, the 1700 p.m. UTC time. They write, today's activity was characterized by calm, with the maximum amplitude that reached 10 hertz. This until 1530, when an isolated peak lasting about 30 minutes brought the maximum value to 25 hertz and then returned to normal values. So that's not much. I mean, 25, yeah, all right, fine. We're just not being bombarded so much. We're getting a little bit of movement there, but not a lot. And that's okay. Honestly, that's okay. Because, you know, we're already being bombarded on other realms, you know, with the plasma energy, the energy coming from the sun, and hope to God we don't get hit by another big mass coronal ejection, because if we get hit by another CME, the way that the sun is now, the position of the sun with the giant sunspot focused our direction, it's not going to look very pretty for any of us. So let's all just kind of focus our energy that when it does eject, it ejects on the opposite side of the sun, away from us, because we're still going to get a massive blast of plasma energy from it, but we won't be without electricity for several months. That's like what the scientists have been really, really concerned about. But I don't want to think about that now. I want to think about Lesson 8. Course in Miracles, I highly recommend it. I'm just going to read a few words from it, hoping that you'll get inspired to start the lessons. You can do one a day for one whole year, or you can take your time and spread it out over a couple years, depending on where you're at and what resonates with you and what you really want to work with energetically speaking. So Lesson 8 says, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea, of course, the reason why you see only the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time, and cannot in fact understand anything. Did you get that? Your mind cannot understand time, and therefore cannot in fact understand anything. Pretty crazy stuff, right? I'm not going to go through the whole lesson because this is for you to go through. It's a really fun and trippy one, and it might make you a little upset, but you're never upset for the reason you think anyway, so it's okay. So, like, they also go on to say for the day you have to say, I seem to be thinking about blank. And then you fill in the blank with a name of a person or a name of an object or even the name of an emotion and so on, So like for me, maybe it's say, I seem to be thinking about my son, and I'm thinking about getting a passport photo that I can't find in my closet right now. And I kind of keep thinking about my anxiety, about my upcoming visa appointment, for example. And then when you're done saying all the things you're thinking about right now, you say, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. That's pretty crazy, right? Your mind is preoccupied by past thoughts. Your mind can only see the past. And everything you see only has the meaning you give to it. But nothing you see really has any meaning. You see all these things, they build on each other. These ideas, they tend to build on each other. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. Please let the, just let the commercial play out while you run and grab whatever you need. Probably, I don't know if you want to get a notebook for this one or not. I am going to be channeling Master Doreal. He is the one who started the Brotherhood of the White Temple in Colorado. He had asked Grandma Marion, my dear, dear friend, to run the school for him after he died. And she was enough of a spiritual being herself, advanced enough to say, no, I have other things that my higher guidance wishes me to do. Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty crazy to think that when a spiritual master comes to you and asks you a favor like that, that's like pretty huge. But she's like, no, that's not what my goal is. That's not what my higher guidance goal for me is, because she worked only with the spirit and she followed her inner guidance. So it's pretty trippy. It's a pretty trippy story. When she told me that, I think it took me a couple hours to get my jaw off the floor. I'm like, how could you have said this to a master who called you? Go back and listen to all of my trippy Grandma Marion stories that I did on Saturdays for a while. I think it was back in February and March, maybe a part of April. I did Grandma Marion stories, and she was a saint, if not a master. And she was just doing dishes in her kitchen, and Master Doreal came. Well, actually, he didn't come to her, but her higher guidance told her she got a message. Kind of like, this is before, like long time ago, before, cell phones, before computers, personal computers. I mean, there were computers in the world, just not in people's homes, and there was no internet. She's just doing her dishes. And she got a message, and she walked into the living room, and she looked at her husband, George, and she said, so, I'm going to go pack a suitcase. I was just given the message I need to go to the train station. There's going to be a man there waiting for me with tickets. And George says, okay, I'll heat up the car, get the girls ready. And she got to the train station. There was a man standing there, dressed all in white, in a white suit, white hat, white gloves, white suit, white tie, white vest. I think she said there might even been a white cummerbund. Like, it was one of the craziest things she'd ever seen in her life. And he walked up to her and he said, you must be Marion Jones. She said, yes. And he goes, okay, well, this is for you. He handed her a ticket and walked away. She looked down at the ticket and she looked back up and he was gone, had disappeared. She didn't know where the hell he went. And she's like, okay, and envelope number 1. Looked in the envelope. It was a train ticket to Colorado. I think she's living somewhere in the South. I want to say possibly Oklahoma or something. But I know she's from West Virginia or Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia. So I don't know. I don't know where she was, but it was really strange. Out of nowhere, here's a ticket to Colorado. And she just hugged her husband goodbye. She says, as soon as I figure out what all this is about, I'm going to give you a call. And if it looks like I'm going to be detained for a long time, maybe you and the girls want to move to Colorado. And he said, whatever spirit wants, They hugged each other, kissed each other goodbye, and she got on a train to Colorado for God knows what reason. She gets there, and turns out the address she had been given was the site of Brotherhood of the White Temple in the Colorado Mountains, in the Rocky Mountains. And she still didn't know what it was all about. And the next day, Master Doreal shows up, and he says, oh, good. Glad to see you. I've been waiting for you. What took you so long? And she's like, it's a long train ride, But he called her with his mind and somehow arranged a random man in a white suit that didn't say a word other than, this is, is this your name? This is for you. And then took off without any explanation as to what's going on. So he was a pretty powerful master. I don't even know who this guy was. Was it a jinn? Was it an angel? Was it a guy that literally took a train all the way to where she was to hand her the ticket and then disappear? Like what was that about? How weird, right? Anyway, we're going to hear from Master Doreal tonight. I don't know what he's talking about, what he wants to talk about, but he's here. I'm going to put the phone down for a moment. You guys go get whatever it is you want to get, whether it's popcorn or a notebook to take notes or a cup of Joe, hot tea. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. But I'll be right back. Just let the thing play out. Go to the bathroom or something. Come right back. I'll be right back. If you're listening to this, you obviously like podcasts, and you probably like music too. Long walks on the beach, romantic dancing under the stars, and oh wait, we're not doing that right now. On Spotify, you can listen to all of that in one place for free, and you don't even need a premium account, which is cool. Free is always good. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, including your long romantic walks on the beach. Also, one thing I love about Spotify is that you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends via Spotify's integrations with the social platforms like Instagram. So that makes it really, really versatile. Just search for Metaphysical Soul Speak on the Spotify app or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. And follow me, of course, don't forget, so that you'll never again miss an episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak. Spotify is the world's leading music streaming service, and now it can be your go-to for podcasts too. Thank you guys so much for supporting Metaphysical Soul Speak on Spotify. All right, guys, I'm here. I'm already connected to Master Doreal, and I don't allow anyone to take over my body, so I am connected with him. We did some breathing exercises together before I got back over here and started recording, and he's going to speak by telepathing to me, so I'm hoping to have a very clear awareness and a channel of clairaudience open, possibly clairvoyance sometimes comes in if he decides to send me a picture in my mind that I get to describe to you guys. So I don't know what he's going to talk about. It was his idea to come today, so we're going to see. Welcome, Master Doreal, to Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I'm happy to have you as my guest. He says, thank you, Elena, for having me, and thank all of you out there in the listening audience for listening to the message that I have for all of you today. Indeed, any of you who are here to listen to this, no matter what point in time in which you listen, you were meant to hear this message. We encode these messages with with a light. Okay, we encode these messages with a light infiltration package. Package? Not packet. Package? Okay. That encapsulates the message and allows it only to get through to those people who are able to fully comprehend the nature of the message, as well as for a minute, I think I lost the connection. There we go. As well as those who've already done the spiritual work in order to be able to be deserving, those who have earned the right to hear the highest spiritual messages. Furthermore, anybody who hears these messages and they aren't meant to hear them, but they force themselves to listen anyway, they're not going to fully comprehend, nor will they get the higher encoded packets of light sent directly into your DNA when you hear this. This is going to be a deeply encoded message that will spark whatever it is needed to spark. Basically, he's saying the codons in your DNA and the crystalline forms in your RNA that are being upgraded right now, as well as each individual cell in your body. Hearing these messages from myself and the others who you have listened to, we have, as Masters of Light, and we all reside in the same place and the same dimension. We're pretty high up here, but we have all been encoding each and every one of these messages with energy from the galactic center, the core of the universe, if you will, from God Himself directly. There are light codes and energy packets, kind of like when you were a child in school and you had packets or workbooks, and you sometimes were so happy to take them home and do the problems and bring them to your teacher the next day. At least back when I was in school, this is how it worked. But these packets you don't have to work on. It's all subconscious. Your mind knows what to do. Your DNA knows what to do. Your auric field becomes infused with the messages that we send in addition to the words that you hear. There is a great deal of light, a great deal of energy, a great deal of spiritual magnificence. Okay, spiritual magnificence that we surround you with, kind of like a cloak, like a he's showing me the picture, and it's like something from the 1900s. Cape. Oh my gosh. It's like an old-fashioned hoodie, but it's like a robe. It's got the hood that kind of covers your face, and then it ties at the neck and goes all the way past your feet. That's what he showed me. That's kind of how the energy is surrounding us. And then he's going to talk again. Yes, indeed, a cloak or a cape. We put this around you, each and every one of you that listens with an open mind and an open heart. And when you are ready to receive this energy, we cloak you first in white light, and then with the messages, like little packets of almost like lessons, but it's energy and it's downloads of knowledge, and it's going to impermeate your cells as you are able and ready and willing to receive it. You must remain in an acceptance, in energy of acceptance. Sorry, I skipped over a couple words he said there. You must remain in the energy of acceptance, which, as you know, is the opposite of resistance. When electricity runs through a line of metal as energy in a house, it runs through wires and runs through copper, the amount of heat that you would feel on the line is the amount of resistance. This is a good insight for me right now. Yes, indeed, he says, the amount of heat in your body indicates the amount of resistance that you are having. So when you are bombarded with a bunch of energy at first, you will get hot. You get hot because you are not open and willing and ready and able to accept the energy coming your way that wishes to flow through your body and permeate each individual cell with the new information. And thus, what you need to do when you feel hot, instead of putting cold water on your face or taking your clothes off or taking a cold shower, is you need to sit in meditation for a few minutes, accept that the energy has arrived, and stop resisting. You must accept the energy, as it is going to become second nature to you anyway. You mustn't resist. Say to yourself, I accept this with a whole and pure heart. I know it's for my higher good, and I accept this. If you have a hard time believing it's of the light, or you have any trepidation, cover yourself in white light first. Ask the holy guardian angels to surround you first. But we, as masters of light, are perpetually sending you messages when you hear these channeled messages from Elena. What about now when other people channel you? Wow, he says there's not really a lot of people channeling me. Okay. Other people, however, do channel Mother Mary and Master Jesus, Sananda Yeshua. A lot of people do channel some of the same people that Elena is channeling. However, some of the messages are very clear from the others. Some of the messages are not. Use your discernment, even if it's from somebody you wish to hear from, like my brother Sananda. Everybody wishes to hear from him, but not every channel is equal in their ability to clearly hear the voice. Indeed, some dip into their subconscious minds. Some dip into other realities and worlds and hear the voices of other people that would like to, as a joke, impersonate the Grand Masters. Sometimes it's out of boredom or jealousy or an anger towards humans. Some of the lower realms sometimes will trick. They are tricksters. And you have to take the message with a grain of salt, as Elena often says, which is a saying in the United States from a very long time ago. It's been passed down through generations. Take it with a grain of salt. What does this mean? A grain of salt. Well, salt itself is in a cubic form, which is a very, very high vibrational form. It is also a natural crystal. If you take salt and you melt it into water and then you heat it up or let it dry in the sun, it yet becomes, one more time, a crystal. It is therefore a magical substance. It's considered for many, 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 many millennia as a substance of magic. This is why people who are in the know will put salt on their windowsills to keep out evil spirits. In the past, back when you all lived in the third dimension, also putting it underneath doors to make sure only good people enter. Also, in the United States, there is a fun cultural fact that if you spill salt, too much salt on a counter, you are to sweep it quickly into your right hand and cast it over your left shoulder so that you will be sure to get the devil in the eye, because it is thought that the devil will oftentimes stand to your left behind you. That is a cultural, are you saying norm? Custom. It's a cultural custom in the United States, but it may also take place around the world. And that is what, when you say, oh, for good luck, throw salt over your shoulder. It's the original form of that, not just for good luck, but also for getting the devil in the eye with salt, to sting him so that he doesn't bother you and you're not tempted into performing evil acts. So when we say take a message with a grain of salt, we mean for real. The salt is to keep away evil spirits, lower vibrational entities, and trickster spirits that just want to have their way with you for fun. And even though we don't mean literally put salt around you while you listen to these messages, although it won't really hurt, but it's not necessary any longer, as you are living in the fifth dimension already. But what I mean to say is that you need to put your faith in your own inner self and your higher power, and take the message in that suits you and goes along with your current level of knowledge and your spiritual beliefs, and leave the rest. And if something doesn't sound right, you may disregard it. Yes, I am a holy spiritual master, if you want to call me that. You too also. You are holy. Everybody is holy. You may consider yourselves to be masters in training. We like to call it your spiritual MIT. You are in your spiritual MIT university. I like that. That's cool. Masters in Training, MIT University. We, in the higher realms, love you with the purest form that love can possibly take. Our bodies are more ethereal. We are more spacious. We are in a realm in which negativity just does not exist. Love permeates where we are. Love permeates every bit, every square inch of our existence, if you will. Even though we don't really use measurement here, I have to relay it to you in a way that you may understand, but for most of you, maybe square centimeter. Yes, indeed. Everywhere you look, go. Every thought you think in our realm is pure love, innocence, charity, humor, joy, beauty, and it is the finest essence, the most ethereal fibers, if you will, of life that can possibly be. We are aware of beings that are even in higher dimensions yet from us. But we remain here in order to continuously send you love and light, and the power of knowledge that we send in the cloaks that we surround you with as an ethereal hug. We hope that our messages that we send you out loud and that we send you among and upon ethereal light waves of energy that surround you. We're hoping that these messages get through on every level possible. We wish for you to experience pure joy, pure ecstasy, pure love, and purity of innocence. For that is the core of who you truly are. You are holy. You are holy. You are holy. We wish for your bones to become crystalline. We wish for your bodies to look young again. We wish for your beings to be light again. And we don't mean just light as in the sun in the sky, but when we say light, we also mean effervescent of being. We wish for you to feel as delicate and gentle and happy as bubbles in a fizzy soda in a carbonated beverage. We wish for you to feel this lightness and this beauty bubbling up throughout, so you feel lighter, so your heart feels lighter and your mind has no more weights of heavy thoughts dragging you down. When you fully anchor into the fifth dimension, you are going to feel this beautiful effervescent feeling of which I speak. If you feel hot right now while I'm speaking, please stop the resistance. Please stop resisting the packets of energy that are waiting just inches from your skin. They're just waiting, these messages of love and light and purity, and the energetic feeling of the bubbling, effervescent energy. Because when you take in the joy, you release the sorrow. When you take in the happiness, you release the pain. When you take in the humor and the beauty, you release the anger and the frustration. When you take in the pure white light of the divine that we send to you, you can release the dark spaces that have resided in you for so long you have forgotten they exist. We see your souls, dear ones. We know you. You don't remember us, but we know you. Did you know that we're friends with you in heaven? In the upper realms, when you pass to the next world, for you do never die. You do always live. Forever you shall live. Do you understand how many times we have sat with you in gardens beneath glorious statues, beneath beautiful skies with the most vibrant colors that you can't even begin to imagine exist? Do you understand how many times we have guided you, counseled you, prayed and meditated with you, and held your hands? Are you aware that we are friends? Are you aware how much we love you? Do you even know how much you love us? Or have you forgotten under the weight of the veil that was the 3D world for you? We shall soon make your veils rent, but not until you are ready. For some of you, the veils have grown quite thin, and you are able to peep through a very little bit. You're able sometimes to see other beings. You're able sometimes to hear our voices whispering your name or words of power and encouragement. We wish to encourage you, send you our love, send you our guidance, and forever, ever, ever, we are sending you our help. We are as big brothers to you, and we are reaching down. We are clasping your hands in ours. We are lifting you up, yet as you lift yourselves up. This is as much your work as it is ours. In fact, it is more so for you. But we are boosting you. We are lifting you. We are praying for you. We are always here for you. We wish to tell you Happy Father's Day to those that have fathers. To those who have lost your fathers, let it be known your fathers still exist. They are in another dimension, that's all. Even though they've passed through the threshold, while you still exist in the dimension you are, they still consider themselves to be your fathers. For those fathers that did not do a good job, they do feel sorry for this. For those fathers who left the world in a state of dementia or had been in a coma or an illness or sickness that rendered them unable to function mentally, they have been fully restored. Fathers that have passed from an illness, they have been restored. They are beaming their love and light to you always, every day. Don't even for 1 second believe that they have forgotten you, because their responsibilities with you in the physical planes and the lower levels and dimensions of existence, because their days with you in those places are gone. Do not think for 1 second they have shirked their responsibility by passing on. They simply went home where they can further help you in a higher dimensional realm with a higher and greater degree of energy. You will see them again. Do not worry, do not fret about that. And by the way, same thing goes for mothers, grandfathers, and grandmothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends. Same goes. You don't lose your connection. You don't lose your love when the silver cord of your loved ones breaks. For that is how people pass from your world, is when their silver cord that tethers their soul to their physical body becomes severed. You shall know, when you are ready to know, what has become of those that went before you to the nether worlds. You are going to understand, as you pass more into the fifth dimension, how everything fits together like a beautiful, magnificent puzzle. Even we cannot conceive how all of the universes fit together, because nobody can contain the mind of God except for God, Him and herself. In fact, you cannot attribute gender to God. We do for ease of understanding, but it is so much more than you can ever begin to wrap your mind around. In order to do that, you have to come and contemplate this with us on the higher levels of existence. Come, please. Our friends, our loved ones, please understand. Do you not understand how much we love you? How much we are on your side, cheering you on from the sidelines, and how much we love you. We are rooting for you. We are willing to give it every ounce of our strength, every ounce of our energy to help boost and lift you up into the higher realms. You only must be willing to accept our packets of light, our packets of knowledge and information that we send to you with each and every channeled transmission through Elena, sometimes through others, again, depending on the quality and level of the channel. The people with a higher spiritual knowledge that have done the work for decades tend to have a higher vibrational message. They have a clearer way. It's almost as if when you call somebody now overseas on a landline, you're going to get a very clear, crisp line. They will sound like they're next door. In the 1940s, not so much. You would hear pings and sounds from the ocean because the lines were buried under the sea or in the ocean. The transatlantic lines. It was very difficult to get a line, and when you did, it was very difficult to hear. The same goes with people who channel spirits from the other realms. People who have never had experience traveling between the realms. For example, Elena has had 5 near-death experiences. She has traveled between the realms quite a bit, and now it's a second nature to her to hear from the other realms. So this is what we mean when the channel is open more, the sound quality becomes better, or the quality of the message. So this is akin to the telephone lines of the past versus now. But what we really mean to say is that the higher quality, the message it gets through depends on the high vibration and experience walking between the realms of the channel, the person who is doing the telepathic messages or the channeling themselves. I hope this was made clear for you. We wish to say that there is such glory waiting for you. You have to be willing to let go of all you know from before. It is coming. There are so many wonderful things we can't even begin to explain to you. And for many of the things we see in your future, you would simply just not believe us. He's saying that that you guys would think I'm crazy, Elena, that I'm crazy if I even channeled these things. I have a feeling it has something to do with what the time travelers have said, though. All right. Am I right about this, Doreal? Yes, but we do not wish to discuss it at this point in time. Only suffice to say, when you get to the other side of what is in store for you, to coin a modern day phrase, it will blow your mind. You won't believe what's in store for you. Do you think becoming aware of your multidimensionality? Do you think becoming aware of timelines? Do you think knowing that you're hopping back and forth between timelines is wild? Oh, just wait. Ooh, ooh. He's doing that kind of like a ooh wee sort of sound, right? He says, just you wait. You have no idea how great, how awesome. And he says, now I do not mean to turn a colloquial phrase from modern times when I say this, because when I say awesome, what I mean is you're going to be filled from the tips of your toes to the top of your head with awe, jaw-dropping awe energy. When you get to where you're going, even only in the fifth dimension, you are not gonna believe even the skies. The beauty, the sheer enormity of the colors and the beauty that you have yet to see. When you get there, you're gonna think you've been asleep your whole life. And indeed you have, actually. But you are not going to believe what happens. And it's all good. It's all great. You are going to be so surprised in the best way possible. So do not fret. Do not regret. Do not hold any semblance of sadness for the world that is passing before your eyes away. Because when you get your new eyes, when you see those new skies, when you understand you've only been wearing a disguise, and you witness the magnificence of your soul and the glory and the nature of who God created you to be. We can't say too much more, but we want you to know you will be free. When you don't understand you've been restricted from your liberty, and then it comes shining forth and it comes shining through, that will be the most glorious day for you. The beauty, the love, the joy, the words cannot contain. We understand you are changing and you are never going to be the same. But my children, my beloved brothers and sisters, my sweet angelic masters in training, do you understand? You have people waiting for you on the other end of this. Do you understand how much we are so ripe with excitement and how much we cannot wait to have you in our midst, in our presence once again? We will embrace you. We have presents waiting for you. We have gifts for you. If you were a little child and you knew that you had to run 6 blocks to come home, and when you arrive at home, you are going to have the most magnificent party with all of your family and all of your friends and your most favorite cake, and the most beautiful balloons and the most wonderful fun-filled games and music and dancing, wouldn't you run with all of your might? Wouldn't you stop at nothing to get home as fast as you can, as fast as your little legs could carry you? My friends, we are here with your birthday party. We are waiting for you to become born upon this world in the fifth dimension. That's all I can say for now. I hope that this means you are going to run towards your destiny and run into your future. We have missed you so. You don't even know that we're friends. You have forgotten us. We are working very hard to make your veils rent so that you know and you see and you hear everything. Because, my dears, you are glorious. You are magnificent. You are filled with the power and the light of God, and you don't even know. You don't even know how great and important you are. And it's our only message, and we say it in so many ways, and we say it on so many days. And everybody that has spoken to you through channeling and messages and telepathic messages and automatic writing and all of the ways we speak to you through the messages in the sky. Sometimes you get a glimmer of our faces when you stare into fire or a river or pieces of nature. You know, he's like kind of showing me like blades of grass, and I'm getting that a little bit confused with the, do you mean like crop circles? Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Yes, exactly. We work with other beings to create these magnificent pieces of art so you understand who you are and where you're going. Even the crop circles are, you know, though not the man-made ones he's saying, but, you know, the real ones. He's kind of quoting Shakespeare to me now, guys. There is far more on heaven and earth, Horatio, that is dreamt of in your philosophy. You're going to have to drop some of the tenets of your former beliefs if you are to race to the best party you've ever been to. He says, you don't even need drugs at this one. It's already wild enough. When you come into your own and you accept your own multidimensionality and you start to see us and know us and feel us around you, and then your eyes adjust with their crystalline forms, you shall see and know everything. Do you know that you have your ET space brothers and sisters waiting too? You have a giant family. This is going to be like the biggest family reunion you didn't even know was waiting for you. Race as fast as you can towards the greatest destiny that you had no idea was even yours to command. He says, that is the conclusion of my message. I am Master Doreal, who started Brotherhood of the White Temple. I am part of the Great White Brotherhood. And when we say white, we don't mean skin color. We mean white because our souls are white. White light contains every color possible in one color. And you indeed are souls that contain everything. All the knowledge of the universe, your Akashic records, everything is inside of you. We want you to be left with that parting thought. The keys to your kingdom have always been inside your heart. Open your hearts to love, be willing and accept the guidance we give you. We're going to show you what to do with those keys. I am Master Doreal. I send you my greatest love, humongous heaps of gratitude, and joy and peace and all the bliss you can handle. I am here delivering this message with many, many, many masters of light surrounding me, and we are all beaming all the time messages to you, love to you. If you are hearing this message, even if you hear it twice or thrice, please understand that every time you hear it, it's going to open another channel, another stream of light to yourself. You will be able to get new messages, new downloads each and every time until you are up with us. We're in a higher dimension than the fifth, but we are able to lower ourselves to the fifth in vibration so that you may see us. Please believe and trust that this is true. But at this moment in time, I must leave you. He says, for I am preparing a special feast for you. I have to go. He's kind of laughing. He's kind of got a twinkle in his eye. He had very, very blue, very piercingly blue, beautiful blue eyes. He's got a twinkle in his eye. He's smiling. He says, well, they're rather greenish blue. All right, that's cool. I think I've only ever seen pictures of you where your eyes were, you were in a black and white photograph, but Marion Jones told me, oh, yes, Marion, he says, yes. She told me you had very beautiful eyes. Ah, really? He says, well, she's just sitting right over here. Ah, hi, Marion, I love you, Grandma Marion. Yeah. All right. I feel the presence of the masters with me, guys. I hope you can feel it too. He goes, let's close out the session. Namaste. I love you all. And I'm bowing. Yeah, and he's saying what I'm saying at the same time. We're saying, with the God in me, I bow to the God in you. I bless you and I bless you and I bless you. That's something that Grandma Marion taught me that she got directly from me. He says, yes, directly from Doreal. Exactly. I've been saying this for many, many, many years. Over 20 years I've been saying this, actually. Like 25 years I've been saying this because my husband taught it from, he learned it from Marion and he taught it to me. And then I met Grandma Marion and she taught it to me again. So yeah. All right, guys. I love each and every one of you. If you have any messages you want to send me, metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. In the next 3 days, I have to go get my visa. I'm extremely busy this week trying to get all my paperwork and everything together in my house before I leave for a week. I'm going to try to do my show every single day. So I have to stay in a hostel with a lot of good Wi-Fi. A lot of good vibes. So it might take me a week to get back to you at this point. Michelle, I know you're waiting to hear from me, and I haven't forgotten you. So if you hear this message, please understand. I am very busy this week, but I do love you, and I'm going to try to get to your request soon. And for the rest of you, thank you for being my listener, for liking and subscribing or favoriting. I don't know where you're listening to me from, but wherever it is, make sure you don't miss a single episode. And tell all your friends and family, anyone you know who's interested in anything, paranormal, strange, supernatural, deeply spiritual and metaphysical. Well, even the health ones, if your mom's not into the spiritual stuff, maybe she'll be interested in the health episodes that I have done. And my archives are always going to be free. There's soon to be a book. I don't know when, probably 6 months from now. I'll start pumping them out on Amazon as books, and it will be free for the first 10,000 people. So you'll probably get it free. So yay! In case you want the transcripts, you're going to also be able to hold it in your hand as an actual book, but that will be for money. But the other one, just to download for free, the ebooks are always going to be free, and at least the first 10,000 copies. So that's what my plans are for that. And I don't have any other announcements. Anyway, Master Doreal, thank you for being here with me. He says thank you for listening and opening your heart and your channel to the upper realms. Oh, good. Thank you. He says he could see I'm helping a lot of you. I hope I am. That this is helping you, that these messages are getting through in the ways that they need to. I might say one sentence, but 20 might come through. He says, yes, that's exactly how it's going to work. I see them kind of sitting at like a huge, like rectangular table. Like if you imagine like the Last Supper table that Leonardo da Vinci painted. And that's kind of the energy and vibe I've gotten tonight while talking to Doreal. I feel like he's sitting on a bench with the table behind him, kind of leaning against the table like you would a picnic bench, but it's a long white stone bench, like a marble bench and a marble table. And all these masters of light have just been patiently and quietly sitting in this rectangular around this table, and they're beaming all their love and light and messages. So maybe if you listen to this one time, you might get a message from Master Jesus, and maybe another time, maybe Mother Mary, maybe another time it might be Madame Blavatsky. I mean, whoever is an ascended master who's seen at this table. It might be Lord Buddha, Guantanama, I can't even say, I'm sorry, I can't say his name. Buddha, we'll just say him Buddha, Yoganandaji, whoever was at this table during this channel. So every time you listen to this one and the other ones he's saying, in particular, all my channels from the higher masters, they're all at this table. I never saw this until today. So maybe my ability to channel has gotten greater even this time. But they're always beaming information and light and love to you. So you're going to get messages I didn't even get, because whatever you're receptive to and you're open to hear, that's what's going to come through for you. So pretty cool, right? Anyway, I'm burning up, which means now I have to sit in meditation for 10 minutes and accept the packets of light and energy I've received. But I'm pouring sweat right now. I feel like it's like cold outside. How could I feel like this? He says it's just the energy. So pretty exciting stuff. All right, guys. I guess that's all I got to say for now. I will be back with all new and unique programming. You won't hear anywhere else in the world what you hear coming out of my mouth. I don't know if that's always a good thing or a bad thing. Every day is it's sometimes just a wild card. You never know what, but what you see, or well, in this case, what you hear is what you get with me. I'm as honest and open and as genuine as I possibly can be, because I feel like we all know each other anyway in other realms. And we're all friends. And, if I lie to you or deceive you in any way, shape, or form, you'll call me out on it. So I've always decided just to be honest and open and genuine and be who I am. And I've always been this way in my life. Finally, it's kind of in fashion to be honest and open. Isn't that weird? I've been like this my whole life. And my whole life I've been shunned and people have been afraid of me because I'm willing to just tell the truth and just blurt out reality. Hello, welcome to reality world. May I take your order? Oh, great. A nice new dose of reality. Oh, here's a truth for you. Let me be blunt. Thank God it's in fashion suddenly now, and I kind of fit in at least with some of the other people on the planet that are light workers and doing the same thing, and comedians, and people are just really super honest about, oh yeah, we went through this stuff, but we're here now. Everything's cool. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. Again, thank you for being my listener. But I'm hot. I need to go take a shower after my 10-minute meditation of accepting all this amazing new information that just came through. So now it's time for you to do the same. Go meditate. Go spend 10 minutes accepting and not resisting, and that will release the heat, remember. Now I am signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.